Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer. So the other day I shared a video of the Nigerian lady that they said she's a rich lady, she has a very good job, that she ended it all because she had no husband, she had no children, that she was lonely. Right, that was the trending news all over social media. Okay, I made a video about it the other day and actually showed Punch News report on it. You know, like I always say, sometimes I show people where I'm reading the news from or where I got my information from, so they can go there and read the full article and get the information themselves. Unfortunately, there are a lot of our people that are, you know, they prefer to be spoon-fed. Like, you have to give them every information. They don't have the time to go and search anything. Just tell us what is there, right? And if you don't do it, only few people would actually go and read it for themselves and get the full information. And the reason sometimes I want to tell you where I'm reading it from is for you to know that I'm following a reputable news outlet, that I'm not just, you know, sharing what is on social media. And then, like I always say, you can go there and read the full thing yourself. So it's not I said, it is what is in the news. Now, unfortunately, some people didn't go to read that full article, even though I explained, I just kind of summarized what the article was about. But I realized that, you know what, I think in this particular case, I should maybe read the section I hope people had gone to read, so that they would know exactly what the story is. So I'm going to read to you guys now from Punch News, the area that I think is the most important area that will show you that the news that was going around was not reliable news. Okay, and like I said, from day one, I felt like that news didn't add up. Let me read it to you guys exactly how it is on Punch News. Again, I'm not going to read it all. I'm going to put the caption on the screen. All you have to do is say Punch News and search for that caption. You will find it on Punch News and you can read it. But let me read to you guys this section, right? So it says, contrary to claims online that Abiola ended it all. I'm trying to be careful, you know, YouTube, their wala is too much, okay? So Abiola ended it all due to loneliness, lack of husband, among others. The colleague said her associates knew that she had been in a romantic relationship, adding that she ended it due to depression. Listen to this, right? That was the only section I read yesterday, but let me read to you guys the other section. It said, the source said she had been suffering from depression for years, and her death has nothing to do with loneliness or lack of husband or sex, okay? Within the last 7 years, I know she was in a relationship twice, right? 2 relationships in 7 years. Do you know what I mean? So people may be in one for 7 years, 2 in 7 years. And then they said that she's the one that ends those relationships. Okay, let me read. She ended those relationships on her own because of depression. How is that hard for some people to understand? Okay, let me read it. She said she did not want to bring someone else into her life when she could not take care of herself. She has been dealing with depression for a long time. She knew her life was not where she would want it to be. Mentally, she was not where she would want to be. And she didn't want to bring somebody into her life because she knew she was not mentally in a good place. Right? And then he says she was going through extreme depression. I think that's something some of our people, they don't seem to understand that. Basically, this has shown, like, judging by some comments, it has shown still the lack of knowledge or understanding of the term depression. People don't know what it is. Okay, let me read this and then I'll say what I want to say. And it said she was going through extreme depression, but people that did not know what she was going through have been posting rubbish online. This lady was a senior accountant with a global com. So she was like, financially she was doing okay. And let me tell you, the problem a lot of our people have, like I said in that previous video, I said, if it was said that, you know, she has no job, she has no husband, then people would have even kukuma say, she died because she's poor. She was looking for a husband to come and save her out of poverty. But thank God she has a job. So they left that side. And some people want to portray that thing about because she no get husband. And believe it or not, there are some people, especially men, not all men, no, but there are some that want to create that image that without a man in a woman's life, a woman is a nobody. Without children in a woman's life, a woman is nobody. I'm going to say this. That's another thing that I will say, that some people will still not hear it. I always say marriage is a beautiful thing, especially when you marry the right person. Having children is a good thing. But I'm going to be honest, I think sometimes having children is overrated. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. It's a good thing, but it's hard work. Some people may say it's easy, but I can tell you it's hard work. I believe that raising children is hard work if you want to do it well. Oh. Because it's all these born throwaway children. You just have children, let them just be existing. It's different from being invested in the life of your children. Be there for them emotionally, psychologically, financially, and every other aspect of being there for your children. You know, unfortunately, there are some people that just born children and they just leave them to survive on their own and be waiting for them to come and look after them when they are old. But if you are a parent that wants to be involved, thoroughly involved in a child's life, to do what it takes to give a child the best life, it's not more, it's hard. I can tell you that. Right? You know, I made video what I talk about co-worker that has no children or maybe has one child. You collect your salary, you're earning the same thing. You collect your salary, by the time you spend on this, spend on that, spend on that, your own money is gone down. But the person that has no children has so much extra. You see, I'm not saying having, you know, somebody will not come and say, I said having children is not a good thing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just showing that there are some people that can choose not to have. This woman from that report, she chose not to have children. She chose not to be married because she felt like her life was not in a good place to bring somebody into it. Unfortunately, some Nigerians are so embedded into Nigerian mentality that it's hard for them to break away from it for a second and see life the way somebody else may be seeing it. This lady decided not to. Even in the comments, I was explaining how even the marriage, somebody say God is an ordained institution. I say, yeah, it's true. God now do marriage, now create marriage. But he didn't say you must get involved in it. He didn't say you must marry. I'm not saying don't marry. But this way our culture makes it look as if, in short, if you don't marry, you're committing a crime. You're committing a sin. And I show some people in the Bible where the Bible explains that there will be no marrying in heaven. Because God created the institution of marriage, there's nowhere he said that it's compulsory. Even Apostle Paul was saying, I wish you guys can kukuma no marry like me. But I wish everyone were single just as I am. Yet each person has a special gift from God of one kind or another. In 8 it says, so I say to those who aren't married and to widows, it's better to stay unmarried just as I am. That's the Bible I just read. There is no part of the Bible, that's another area some people come and confuse people, that says you must be married. Even the God that is ordained the institution of marriage is the same one that says that there will be no marrying. After we leave this world, there will be no marriage in heaven. If it was something that shows you that even it. So why should, it's interesting how we do religiosity so much, yet we do not know what it is to actually focus on things that has eternal value. Marriage or not be, I'm not saying don't marry, I'm not saying marriage is a bad thing, but it's not part of a criteria of making heaven. So why invest so much time and energy bashing people that chose not to be married and chose not to have children for something that has no eternal value? What Christianity are we even? I don't think some people know what Christianity is. Even the Jesus himself that came to show us how to be Christians. That Jesus himself that came to show us how to serve this God. He came to show us how to live. Jesus himself no marry. Even God no get wife. Even the apostles, they no marry. So I'm saying it again. I'm not saying marriage is not a good thing, but I'm saying that it shouldn't be all this. The way our people carry it as if. And the funny thing is this: they make it look as if a woman is not married, that's when they bring out this thing more. When a man is not married, they don't bring out this thing that he must be miserable, he must be whatever. I have 2 relatives that have chosen not to be married, and they are both men. 2. One cousin from my mother's side and one cousin from my father's side. They have refused to be married. Eventually, one of them that they forced, basically they forced a woman for him to marry. Now there's a wahala is that they are saying, the wife is saying that he's not even coming near her. But boss say he does not want to be married. So people actually choose that life of being single. They went and got him a wife. They did everything. Money is not his problem. He's doing well financially. He's doing well in every way you can imagine. But he didn't want to be married. He loved his simple life. After the aunties and everybody went and forced a wife, they shot married wife and gave him. Till today, he did not born. And according to the information, they say the woman said, you know, the Greek come near her. Human beings are different. Our people need to realize that. And he's not committing any crime or any sin by not marrying. Another relative, that one called me once. His rent, he has no rent. His rent was maybe, was it 200,000 or whatever. I was like, I called one of his siblings. They are all older than me. This cousin is maybe in his 50s. If I'm not mistaken, he will be in his 50s. And I called the sibling. I was like, your brother called me. He's looking for money for rent. I just want to know what's going on. And he said, that he refused to marry. Oh, he's there in Lagos, so he's suffering. Oh, that they were trying to tell him to come back to the village, to come and marry, to come and this, to come and back. He, come and this. He has not married. He has no children. Da, 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 da. So eventually, everybody was getting involved. I say, no, don't give him money. If you give him money, we'll never leave that Lagos. Even the rent he's about to pay, should be the rent will still expire. They want him to go back to the village and then try his luck in the village. They want him to go to the village because they want him to marry and settle down, blah, blah, blah. But my biggest worry was that the money he's asking for, after he pay rent, how will he survive? I don't know. And me, I felt like it's gotten to a point where there are some people that can no longer afford to live in Lagos. Let's be honest. I have relatives that have left Lagos and moved back to the village, and they are doing well. They're doing well in the village because at least their papa house is free. They can live in their father's house, and at least whatever money you give them, then they can use it to establish themselves in one way or the other. Long story short, that cousin till today is not married. But you see, the people are saying, come and marry, come and marry. But I see that he still doesn't have that stigma he would have had if he was a woman. Some people can choose not to be married. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. I'm saying it's not everything. From this story, let me tell you, if the story from day one was that truly this woman decided that, I don't get husband, I don't get picky, I want to delete myself, then we can actually say, yeah, that is the story. But I do not like when people turn the story around to suit that our societal terrible mentality, to make it look like, if you don't get husband, you go buy yourself. Oh. If you don't get husband, you will lose it. Oh. Because the message they were sharing, the fake news that they were sharing on social media about this woman was that she did not have a husband and children, and that made her depressed. No. If you go by what her loved ones are saying, no. She is depressed, and that made her not want to be married and have children. It's not the other way around. We need to begin to understand mental health problems. We need to begin to understand it. And something else I actually want to emphasize is this. When people with mental health problems, let me tell you, if she had made it, that she didn't succeed in ending her life, she may wake up 3 days later and be like, wow, I can't believe I almost did that. So people that are depressed are on medication. Some of the medications have terrible side effects that can actually make them do something like this. I'm telling you, because some of them, the medications they take are so difficult on their systems that they feel like this life is not even worth it. Some of them have side effects that are just unbearable. I can tell you that. Do you know why that psych hospitals and psych wards, there are a lot of them that are on suicide watch? There are a lot of them. There is a reason why. So I wanted to quickly come and share, because I thought maybe I explained it better in that one. I said, okay, let me read it again for people to see that she is the one that ended these relationships. She's the one that chose not to be married. She's the one that chose not to be in these relationships. She's the one that chose not to have children because she was not in a good place mentally. I just wanted to come here and explain that. Unfortunately, there are some people, even some women, unfortunately, help in this thing, that want to keep promoting this society where women are made to feel like without a man, there are nobodies. Believe it or not, that's what's going on. Without a man, there are nobodies. Without a man, there are this, that mentality is destroying a lot of our women. That is why people like Osinachi stayed in a so-called marriage until her life ended. Because people keep forgetting. They forget that there are cases that are the other extreme. Marriage is a beautiful thing. I will say it again. But people will not hear that part now. In their ear will not hear it. They will jump. Marriage is a beautiful thing if you meet the right person. No. But at the same time, being single can be beautiful too. Being single is some people's choice. Anyways, I wanted to quickly come and explain it again. If another story comes out, and that story is the story of truly a woman that she say, my life is no longer worth living because there's no man in my life. Right? Okay. We can then say, okay, true, that one is that one. But this particular story, is different. Unfortunately, some people do not want to accept the fact that it's different and respect the fact that it's different, because they have that narrative they prefer to push and make women feel like they are worthless. Look, if you don't have a man in your life, you could go delete yourself, or you go. Another story comes tomorrow, and it is that's the case. We'll discuss that. But in this case, from the explanation, she chose not to be married. She chose not to have children. She ended 2 relationships in 7 years. So people are in 1 relationship in 7 years. She is the one that has ended them because she didn't want it in her life. I wanted to quickly come back and share this section that maybe some people did not go and read it to find out the full information. I always say it, whenever you see news on social media, find authentic source to be sure that no matter what the story is, that you're actually getting, the authentic information. Hopefully this has explained it all. As always, whatever your opinions are, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.